Liverpool suffered consecutive home league defeat for the first time since the 1920s. I'm StattoJoe, you're a legend for watching this video, and if you're new to the channel, why not hit subscribe? I would really appreciate it. We're just going to dive into the stats, have a look at some of the key moments in this game, and just have an overall chat about what happened. Yeah, so this was a massive surprise, not just because of the result, but also because Liverpool were 100% the better team. I think anyone who says otherwise is mad, and I don't think they deserve to lose this game at all. And I just think it's bad. It's bad luck. You look at their injuries. You look at the penalty, which I did think was a penalty, but I can, it's a tough one because there is an element of it. It is accidental, obviously, but I just think because it prevents a goal scoring opportunity, that it's a penalty. That's the only way I can see it, really. But I do understand that people are going to have different views, and that's totally okay. That's totally fine. Everton rode their luck for sure, and they certainly did park the bus after they scored in the third minute. But let's just look at the stats. Let's just see what went on and where things aren't going so well for Liverpool. So we always go to the attack momentum meter. Absolutely love it, and it's very rare you see a game this one-sided. So you can see the first 6 minutes went to Everton. Then after that, it was pretty much all Liverpool. Like even in the first half, and whenever the bar goes the whole way up to the top, that means it's like complete dominance of the ball. And you can see for large periods of the first half and pretty much most of the second half, Liverpool were the far more dominant team. And it's just I just can't believe. Actually, I'm still a bit in shock at the result, personally. Yeah, overall though, I don't think Liverpool played badly. I think certain individuals are struggling a bit. I don't know what's going on, but let's just look at some of the stats. So overall, 71% possession to Liverpool. I think it was 79 in the second half. Yeah, 79 in the second half, and the first half was 63. So certainly had a lot more of the ball in the second half. 15 shots to Everton's 9. Same number of shots on target. What's actually really interesting is that Everton actually had 4 big chances and missed 2 of them, scored 2 of them, and Liverpool had 2 big chances and missed 2 of them. So they both missed the same number of big chances, but Everton actually 2 more. So I think that's maybe because of the way they played in the second half, where they went in the counter. They do whenever they get in those positions where it's 2-on-2 or 3-on-2. That is generally a big chance, and they did miss. Seamus Coleman did miss a big header in the first half. Passing accuracy, you love to see an 88% passing accuracy from Liverpool. That's great. Whereas 69% from Everton is terrible, and that's in the whole game. 69%. That's really poor. So yeah, when you look at the stats, you would look at it and you would assume that if you didn't know the scoreline, you would assume that Liverpool won the game just based on the stats. But there's a couple of things I just want to highlight, and if you think I'm being harsh, then let me know in the comments because maybe I am. But if we just look at the player statistics, there's one thing I just want to highlight because for me, it's just not good enough, and it's the performances of both Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane. So typically, we're looking at possession lost here. So I just want to highlight 3 things. So the first thing we'll highlight is Trent with 34, Mane with 20, and Salah with 19. Um, the Trent one is forgivable for me, but he plays a lot of crosses, and so whenever he plays a cross and it's headed out, that counts as possession lost. I don't think that's anything against Trent's performance. I actually thought he played pretty well, but it obviously goes down. But with Mane and Salah, far too many times they were getting the ball and losing it or just running into nothing, and it's just not good enough. It frustrates me, and I don't even support Liverpool, and it frustrates me to watch. It's like, what are you doing? There's so many passes on. There was an incident in the first half. If we're just going to use this pitch as an example, right? So it was in the first half, and Salah had the ball about here, and there was an Everton defender here, an Everton defender here, and there was 2 Liverpool players out here. And instead of playing the ball out this way, Salah sort of like ran in this direction into like loads of more defenders here, and then lost the ball. And I was just looking at that, and I was like, play the pass, play the pass. I don't. I have no interest necessarily in seeing Liverpool do well in terms of like not being. I'm not a fan, so why would I care? But it's incidents like that that really frustrate me for Liverpool fans. It's things like that, like you need to be doing better there. Another thing I wanted to use this pitch for was just to talk about average possession in the second half. So the majority of the game was played in the Everton half, and it wouldn't surprise me if the average possession of the Everton team was something like this. It was they played a lot of the game in their box, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Liverpool average possession was something along these lines, because it's just it was just very, I don't know. There seems to be a lack of pace and creativity in the Liverpool side. From what I'm saying, I also totally get that the way in which Everton defended has actually been a real problem for Liverpool. If you look at, so I'm thinking from just before New Year, so in the Newcastle game, in the Southampton game, and then in the games they lost at home to Brighton and Burnley. Anyway, they like to play. They sort of played a very compact defense where the majority of their team was in this sort of area. So they had, let's say, 11 players all behind the ball in here, and then Liverpool are coming at them from all these different angles, and often are crossing the ball into the box, but not really getting anywhere. And so I think there's an element of teams sort of know how to cause problems for Liverpool at this time whenever we have injuries. So yes, 100% Liverpool are struggling because of the system is lost. Whenever you have so many of your players out injured, you're obviously playing with a team that aren't as good as what your first team would be, and who maybe aren't as comfortable with the system that you play. So whenever you play your midfielders at centre back, you lose their dynamism in midfield. So yeah, 100%. I actually think that it has stifled them a lot. But especially with this game, some of the stats, they didn't deserve to lose the game, and I think very few people would disagree with me on that. I think they were the better team, but they just don't have that cutting edge anymore. And I think hopefully, I mean, everybody wants to see that come back. I think, but yeah, they were just my thoughts. What did you think of the game overall? Am I totally wrong? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you tomorrow for the Arsenal Man City game.